can't stop.
We had a few pretty big reveals at the end of season 2 to sort of lead into where we're going with season 3 and in the future of the show. Some cliffhangers, so Toby was in his, state of what looked like depression. We don't really know how he got there. Kevin's on this trip. He's on an airplane with this woman that he just met, this new perhaps love interest. We don't really know where that's going. There were quite a few questions left to be answered, and then I think we pick up season 3 answering a lot of those questions. They're kind of diving right into it. We pick up a few months. Season 3 is a few months after the end of season 2, so it's a birthday for the kids in the present storyline, and we sort of start to tell those stories. And now that we're this far into the show, we can kind of dive deeper into these characters and not so much talk about what's going on around them, but how they got there, which is, I think, the interesting, sort of the grit of the show. So it's our most ambitious season for sure.
We do see, Kevin and Kate and Randall really, dare I say, growing up, because obviously they're adults, but they are really moving through some issues that they haven't contended with, whether it's Randall's anxiety and just continuing to be sort of Jack in a way, and the way that he approaches his life and his commitment to his family and adoption, all these really beautiful things that mirror Jack, which is so beautiful. And then, of course, Kevin starting to take a turn and put the addiction behind him and start his real dream, which is, of course, to be a movie star, but also to really have the pain and the trauma healed. And Kate as well. I mean, she's gone through so much about her guilt and her shame about her father's death and how that's directly affected every decision she's made in her whole life.
The very, very end of season 2 found us at Kate and Toby's wedding, and that was juxtaposed with this, again, sort of slightly bittersweet dream that Kate has of her parents celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary, sort of a what could have been had Jack not passed away. And so that was a beautiful note to end the season on. But kind of just before that, in previous episodes, we find obviously the big Super Bowl episode where Jack passes away, and then the immediate aftermath of Rebecca trying to pick up the pieces for the sake of her children and kind of move forward, and it was his funeral and memorial. I think season 3 is going to focus a lot on that particular time period in the ensuing months after his passing, and again, how the family sort of finds their way together, or maybe not so together, how they all have their different ways of coping with grief.
When someone walks up, and they usually have a smile on their face, and they want to say something nice about the show, gosh, I mean, who gets that? What kind of life is that? Who gets that? Where strangers are walking up to you telling you how your show or your character or a particular episode impacted their life or their family and made whatever it is in their life a little bit better. It's the most incredible thing, and who would have thought? I mean, I'm an actor. Who would have thought that would ever happen to me? But it's fantastic.